Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Is Eritrean military abducting civilians from Tigray? Tigray people, residents of the areas claimed by Tigray. Mayor of a city gave an interview a few hours ago. Tigrayan media is sharing the contents of this interview. Secondly, African Union issued a statement today about the situation in southern zone, Raya Alamata, Koram, Ofla, etc. What is African Union's position? What is happening in southern zone? Is it implementation of Pretoria deal or violation of Pretoria deal? Important statement, I think a message for TPLF from the African Union. Veiled message, a hidden message, obviously, the direct message. No direct message. We'll try to analyze the statement of African Union. Firstly, viewers, Tigray Eritrea border, we call it Ethiopia Eritrea border as well. Uh, you know that Eritrean government's position is that there is no dispute between Eritrea and Ethiopia about border. Border issue has been solved. It was solved 2 decades ago when the Boundary Commission gave a verdict. The verdict has been implemented. Its business closed. No talks, no negotiations, nothing will be held with Ethiopia. Tigray's position is that its territories have been annexed by Eritrea, Eritrean military in occupation of Tigray territories. Federal government largely silent, but a few weeks ago we heard from the Ethiopian PM who said that a joint committee would be formed to see if Algiers agreement and the Boundary Commission decision is being implemented or not regarding the border. So you see that three different positions about the border. Since there is no consensus, that is why we see statements, accusations. Zalambasa mayor gave an interview a few hours ago. Birhane Birhe is his name. Birhane Birhe claimed that more than 100 people have been abducted allegedly by Eritrean military in recent weeks. These people were abducted from eastern zone, Irob, Zalambasa. He says entire Zalambasa is under military control. Not just Zalambasa, 6 other towns in eastern zone are under Eritrean control. And Birhane Birhe accused, you can say, criticize the federal government too, that federal government is not taking any action. Rather, federal forces have withdrawn from some areas. I reported 2 days ago that military was withdrawing from Tigray border area. It was being mobilized. It was being relocated to western zone, Humera Volkai, Sagade. We told you about movement of military from Rama towards western zone. So Birhan and Bere also confirmed the withdrawal of Ethiopian military from border. Now, question, viewers, is who is speaking the truth? Problem is that this issue will have to be solved amicably. Otherwise, Tigray will always say that its territories are under occupation, Tigrayans are being abducted. Eritrea would say its forces are operating in Eritrean territory. And a few days ago, we saw a video from Irob showing an Eritrean military officer addressing Irob residents, telling them they are Eritreans. They will have to follow Eritrean law. And we saw messages from Tigray activists, Tigray journalists saying that Tigrayans of Irob are being forced to change their identity. They're being forced to adopt Eritrean identity. These issues will remain alive if there is no permanent solution. I am not supportive of Tigray's position about the border. And I don't support Eritrean position either. But I think that they should at least talk. Talks should happen. Start of talks does not mean that Eritrea has recognized that there is an issue. At least they will sit and just joining talks will resolve so many issues and tensions. But so far, I think Tigray has been attempting to talk to Eritrea about border issues. Though Tigray has been demanding withdrawal of Eritrean military from Badme, etc., which is not likely. Eritrea is not showing any flexibility to hold talks with Tigray. So, issue remains. What happened to that committee, which was announced by the federal government, by PMRB? That committee, and I remember that an Ethiopian government foreign ministry spokesperson said that the two countries, Ethiopia and Eritrea, would form a committee to monitor the border situation. No such committee announced so far. And did the federal government form a committee with participation of Tigray side to monitor the border? No, we don't know. So nothing has happened, or it has not been made public. Maybe things happening in the background, behind the scenes, but not being made public. But border issue is a serious issue. I think federal government will have to address this issue sooner or later. Secondly, was African Union issued a statement today about the situation in southern zone, Raya Alamata. African Union led negotiations between TPLF and federal government, mainly mediated by US. But African Union, IGAD were there too, and they are obviously monitoring the implementation of Pretoria deal signed in November 2020. So what happened in Alamata, Raya Alamata, Goram, etc.? Is it a violation of Pretoria deal, or Pretoria deal is being implemented? Because that is what Tigray says. Tigray's position is that what has happened in Raya in recent days is basically an implementation of Pretoria deal. Federal government 2 to 3 days ago called for disarmament of Tigray fighters. They called for respect for Pretoria deal. Amhara regional government is saying the Pretoria deal is being violated by TPLF. TPLF has waged another round of war on Amhara people. It is calling for the withdrawal of Tigray fighters from the contested territory. What is African Union's position? Well, African Union firstly showed concern at the situation in southern zone, saying that people being displaced from there, this displacement should stop. Civilians should be protected. Displacements are happening according to African Union. Tigray denies. Tigray said there is no displacement. Those who are being displaced were not residents of the southern zone. They were settlers. And that number is very exaggerated. Number is 50,000 according to UNOCHA, which released a report 2 days ago. Maybe the number is increased now. 2 days ago, the number was 50,000 according to UNOCHA. African Union is saying people are being displaced. Citizens are not safe. So all parties must halt hostilities. There is tension in this zone, and Pretoria deal must be respected. It means that what is happening in Raya Alamata is a violation of Pretoria. That is why African Union is saying the Pretoria deal should be respected. Or we can say at least African Union believes that the situation, the developments in southern zone amount to a violation of Pretoria deal. So African Union seems to be pointing its finger at the TPLF. The TPLF is violating the Pretoria deal. African Union is calling for the start of political dialogue. That is the way forward to solve the dispute over contested territories. African Union is using the term contested territories. The same term was used by some Western countries when 7 embassies issued a joint statement saying that the issue of disputed territory should be solved through dialogue. So Western countries, African Union, Amhara government, all are saying that TPLF is violating Pretoria deal by launching its fighters into the southern zone and taking control of southern zone's territories. Tigray denies. Tigray says it there was clash between militia members. That is what Getachew said 2 days ago. There was a clash between militia members. Regional government was not involved, and that Pretoria deal Tigray is committed to. But it will be difficult for Tigray to take control of entire southern zone. The way we are seeing opposition to Tigray's moves, opposition from international community. I think Tigray has spoiled its case for Western zone now. Even if it takes entire Southern zone, it would be difficult for Tigray to launch similar attacks into Western zone. Amhara government won't stay silent. Maybe international community will put more pressure upon Tigray. So let's see what happens so far. Even entire southern zone is not under TPLF Tigray control. Here too, military in control of Alamata city, though large parts of southern zone under Tigray.